Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Tales from the Vargas Bold. In this video I actually wanted to talk about remakes. Like I mentioned in my Total Recall video, I'm not really happy with so many remakes that have been being released. I really feel that remakes actually hurt the movie industry because take the time to make something original. Don't just rehash something that someone already has done. That being said, I do understand why people do remakes. I mean, when someone watches a movie as a child and it makes a big enough impact, it might inspire someone to go into the movie business. Either as an actor, as a writer, or as a director. So, I do understand that, when you get to a point where you can actually give yourself the luxury to make a remake, either by writing one or directing one, I can understand that you would feel inspired by the movie that inspired you. So you want to pay tribute to the movie while also adding a little bit of your own personality to it. So I understand why some people do remakes. I'm against the remakes that are pushed by the movie companies. The ones that, well, this movie was popular and we need to make a new movie this year. Let's make a remake. So they push remakes down people's throats, and those are the remakes that I don't particularly enjoy. But in the case of the Total Recall movie, I enjoyed it. It's the kind of remake that I don't usually watch because I really wasn't looking forward to that movie when I saw the trailer, but I ended up watching it and I enjoyed it. I even recommended it on that video. So, that being said, I wanted to showcase the remakes that I own in my collection. However, I do have to make some honorable mentions because I don't own them yet. Either because I haven't found them or because I'm still waiting for them to drop down in price because, buying new movies is kind of expensive, especially to someone that buys so many other stuff in his collection. But the few remakes that I don't own that I would actually like to get is the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie that came out last year. It's a remake, sort of reboot of the Planet of the Apes series. There is actually an original movie called I think it's actually called Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. But the one with James Franco and John Lithgow, I liked that remake a lot. It's actually a pretty good remake. The other one I want to get, but I've never seen, is the remake of Night of the Living Dead. That one is a colorized version, updated version of the original. Don't have it. I've never actually seen it, but if I see it, I'll buy it because, while I have heard some mixed reviews on it, I would still like to check it out for myself. The other two remakes that I don't own, one I don't want it, the other one I am curious about is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake and the Friday the 13th remake. I've heard a lot of good things about the Friday the 13th one, not so much on the Nightmare on Elm Street. Because, that it tries to do its own thing and doesn't actually pull it off. And from what I've seen myself in the trailers or in videos, I don't think I'll enjoy that movie that much. Because the original is so much better, so yeah. But yeah, so I know there's another one I can't remember at this point, but I don't want to make a huge, long video, so I'm going to get to the movies that I own that are remakes that I enjoyed for various reasons. So here we go. First remake, they're not in my favorite, least favorite to favorite one. The only thing I did is just pull them out of the collection here and tried to separate it by genre, like comedy, action, and horror and stuff. So they're in no particular order except that one. But the first one that I wanted to share is Fun with Dick and Jane. This is actually a remake from a movie that came with the same name that I think came out in the 60s. I think. I enjoyed it. A lot of people don't like Jim Carrey that much. I do. I think he's a really funny man. Téa Leoni is also really good in this movie. Same deal with Alec Baldwin. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the little, hint at the whole company falling down and collapsing on people's savings and everything. I liked it. I liked the movie during the bank heists. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. So I liked it. One of the remakes that I actually enjoyed, even though I didn't know it was a remake until after I saw it. Another movie that it's a remake, and this is by Adam Sandler, is Mr. Deeds. This is actually a remake of a movie that came out in the 30s. Mr. Deeds Goes to Washington. Another really good movie. I liked it. The first time I saw it, didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other movies from Adam Sandler. After I got it on DVD and I started watching it again, I enjoyed it. I liked it. So, another good comedy remake. Another comedy remake that I own is Bedazzled. Now, this is a movie that I think is really underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it that much, but Elizabeth Hurley is mega hot in this movie. And the work that Brendan Fraser did in this one, I think is admirable, especially because of that scene where he talks in Spanish. Oh, look at me, yo hablo español. And, oh, no, soy un rico y poderoso narcotraficante. That, I really respected the hell out of Brendan Fraser for talking in Spanish during the whole thing. And speaking Spanish well. The other actors didn't do that good of a job. He did a good job in this. Really good remake. I don't remember when the original came out. I think maybe it was also in the 70s. I'm not sure. But one of my favorite remakes. Another remake that I avoided like the plague when I didn't even go see it in the movie theater. Same reason for the Total Recall movie. I saw a trailer and I'm like, I can't believe they're doing a remake of this. Then I saw the Nostalgia Critics review of Old vs. New, where he compares the two. Decided to break down, buy the thing, and saw it, and I loved it. I am so ashamed that I didn't go see this when it came out. Still think that it could have been its own thing without the name, but that's the remake for The Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and the son of Will Smith. I saw it. I loved it. It should have been called The Kung Fu Kid, not The Karate Kid, because karate is in Japan, Kung Fu is in China, where this movie takes place. Again, one of those things where it could have been called something totally different and it would have worked, but this movie is really, really cool. I really liked it. I really liked Mr. Han, which is the character that Jackie Chan plays. Really, really cool. I especially like the philosophy between when Jackie Chan is trying to explain Kung Fu and everything. I really, really like that. Really, really good movie. Really good sequel. I'm sorry, remake. This is actually an interesting case because it's both a remake of a movie that already came out, but it's also a reboot. They're trying to reboot the 007 series, and that's Casino Royale. I grew up watching Roger Moore as 007, James Bond. Went through the Pierce Brosnan movies. I actually do really enjoy Pierce Brosnan as 007. When they said that we're going to do a reboot/remake, I wasn't that happy about it, but Daniel Craig did a really good job as 007. The movie is actually based on the very first book that Ian Fleming did, and I read that book. I liked the book, and I like what they did with this movie. So really, really good action remake/reboot. Really, really cool. Now, I was mentioning before about movies that inspire producers or actors to, get into the business and do their own thing, and then later on, when they're famous enough, they have the liberty to do their own remake, not out of business, out of love. And this is that kind of movie, and it's the Peter Jackson remake of King Kong. By watching this movie, I went to see it in the theater because I really do like King Kong, and I like Peter Jackson's movies. Love The Lord of the Rings, Frighteners, really, really cool. Still need to get Dead Alive, but he always said that he was inspired by King Kong, and I wanted to see his remake. I saw it, and I liked the effort that he put in it, because this is a movie of love. He really did do this because he loved King Kong. My only gripe with it is the first hour of the movie. It's so long to get to the island. Once they're in the island in New York, it's really, really cool. That's when things start picking up, but the first hour is just unnecessarily long. I mean, it was kind of slow in the original one, but it wasn't this slow. But still, really cool remake. Went to see it in the theaters with some friends, and they were bored to death with the movie. And I was too, again, with that first hour. But after watching it a couple of times on DVD, I've grown to appreciate it a lot more than I did when I saw it on theater. It really is a labor of love for Peter Jackson to make King Kong. So, yeah, really good remake, even though that first hour is horrible. Oh, and then the bug scene where the slug thing eats Popeye, that thing was kind of disturbing, because I have a thing for bugs. Another remake that I own is The Italian Job. This is one of those remakes that strays from the original formula a little bit. But it's a good action movie. It stars Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, and Edward Norton. And I liked it. It's action-packed. It's suspenseful in certain scenes. Good remake. Now this is the ultimate of the remakes. This is actually based on a gangster movie that came out, I think, maybe in the 30s or in the 40s. I don't remember. I don't own the original one, even though I've looked for it everywhere. But this is a remake that everyone loves, everyone knows, and that's Scarface. I'm actually surprised no one has tried to make a remake out of this, or an updated version or something. This movie, at first time I saw it on TV, I didn't like it. Maybe because obviously it was the edited version. And I always thought that Tony Montana was kind of a stupid character, because he gets everything he wants, and then he himself collapses everything, because he starts, you know, taking his own product and everything. But after watching it now as an adult, and you know, seeing it without the cuts that the TV version had, it's a really good movie, especially the shootout scene at the end. Best shootout scene in a movie ever filmed. Still, you know, I've always said that the 80s had my favorite movies are from the 80s, and this is an amazing remake. I still have to watch the original one, but I know that the original one and this one don't have that much in common. But an amazing remake. I really like this one a lot. So, yeah, this is going to be all horror, because horror, as I might have mentioned, I think I mentioned it on the Total Recall movie, Hollywood loves to make horror remakes. Just insane how much remakes they do. But the ones I've enjoyed are these. And the first one is Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is more based on the book than on the Bela Lugosi movie. It does have some elements, because the Bela Lugosi movie is based on the novel, but this one is more faithful to the novel, not so much to the Bela Lugosi movie. But still, really cool remake. Really liked it. Liked the atmosphere. Liked Gary Oldman as Dracula. And oh, I forgot his name, but Van Helsing, he's really cool. It gives its own flair to the movie, but a still really cool movie. I really like this remake a lot. Really good Dracula movie. Another remake that I enjoyed, and not a lot of people did, because the original with Boris Karloff is loved by everyone. This one, not a lot of people liked it. I enjoyed it, and that's the Mummy remake with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Wells. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it had its funny moments. I thought it had its scary moments. It had its epic moments. It strays from the original one, of course, but it still has those elements from the original one. Just really liked it. I liked the sequel. I even like Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. The Scorpion King was also pretty good, even though I only have the first one in this collection. But, you know, as far as a Mummy reboot, I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's action-packed. It was fun. Another remake that was done, and I ended up really liking, was the remake of Dawn of the Dead, remaking the original George Romero movie. They changed the formula in this one in the sense that the zombies aren't slow; they're actually fast zombies. You know, like the rage zombies from 28 Days Later. But I liked it. I got to invest in the characters, It had some really epic horror movie moments, and this is the unrated version, so it has a little bit more. But I really like this remake. Yeah, really good remake. Now these are they were released first in Japan, and Hollywood loves to remake really good Japan movies, hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad, and I own a lot of American Japan remakes. But these are the two that I enjoyed the most. The first one is The Ring. Really good horror remake. The original one is better. The Japan one, original one is better, but this one was really cool. This one was really creepy. This one was really scary. Not the sequel sucks, but this one is really cool. I really like The Ring. And the other sequel that I liked a lot, and mostly because they brought back the director from the Japanese version, plus Sam Raimi, and it had Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is The Grudge. This one, The Ring was good, but this one creeps me out the most because of the girl with the long hair. Something about that character just freaks me out, and even to this day, I watch the movie and I still get a little disturbed just when the scenes when she's there. The cat kid does nothing for me, but the creepy ass girl, ugh, still scary. But those are the only two American remakes that I have that I really enjoyed compared to the original one in Japan. Another one, Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. The original one has a special place in my heart because of the year where it was released and the day that it represents. I have a very interesting connection to that movie, but I liked how Devil's Rejects. Didn't like House of a Thousand Corpses. I liked Devil's Rejects, so I was willing to give this movie a shot, and it was pretty good. Rob Zombie tries to introduce some elements to the past of Michael Myers. A lot of people have complained that it demystifies him, but he tries to explain a little bit more on Michael Myers' past, and then it starts like a remake of the original one. But I like this one. I really like this one. It's dark. It's gritty. Stay away from the sequel to this one. That one is some weird shit. But this one was pretty good. I really like this one. I also like the chase scene at the end. I like the look of Michael Myers in this movie. It's a really good remake. So yeah, I recommend that one too. These two are actually very interesting remakes because one is a remake of a remake and the other one is a remake of an original movie. And the original movie is based on the book of I Am Legend. And the original movie the movie that first came out stars Vincent Price, and it's The Last Man on Earth. Then in the 80s, they remade that into The Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston. In the Vincent Price movie, there were vampires, flat out vampires, and in this one they're like mutants. And then the remake of that remake is I Am Legend. In this one, they're kind of like mutant vampire things. They're kind of weird, but I enjoyed the original one. I liked this one, and I enjoyed this one too. Will Smith did a really good job with this one, even though I preferred the ending in the alternate ending. That one was a lot more epic. It was a lot better. This one has an ending that I actually didn't notice that this one had the crappy ending until I saw it. I thought it had the alternate ending, but the alternate ending is way better than the ending to this one. All in all, the movie is still pretty good, but still prefer the alternate ending. And as a remake of a remake, it was really well done. I like this one a lot too. This is another remake of a movie that I don't own. I don't own the original, unfortunately, but that's the 80s Blob. This is a really good movie. Special effects wise, it's really cool. Really liked the story, really liked the effects on the Blob, the way it dissolves people. Just a really great remake. And the other remake I enjoyed, which I also don't own the original one, is The Fly. The sequel is not so good as the original one. The original one starring Jeff Goldblum is really amazing. Even though it does reach a point where it's kind of disgusting to watch the guy fall apart, still a really cool remake. And I actually forgot, another horror remake I don't own is The Thing, John Carpenter's Thing. I've been trying to track down that movie for the longest time, and I can't find it. I don't know if it's been released on Blu-ray, but once I saw it, if I see it in the wild on DVD, I'll get it on DVD. But if I see it on Blu-ray cheap, I get that. I can't believe I forgot about The Thing. But yeah, that's another remake I don't own, which is really, really cool, and you should definitely give it a watch. But those were the remakes that I enjoy in my collection. I have some other remade movies, but I don't like them as much as these ones. These are like the cream of the crop for me. The remakes that either I didn't know they were a remake and enjoyed them, or I knew they were a remake, was kind of on the fence about them and ended up liking them a lot. But yeah, if a remake is done well and it's done lovingly to the original one, I'll accept them. But if it's just a cash-in, just avoid The Thing. But even then, again, Total Recall I thought was going to be crap, and I ended up enjoying it. But you know, your own point of view comes in on remakes. I prefer original movies, but sometimes remakes will surprise you. But that was this video, guys. Again, like always, hope you guys leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you, see what you like, what remakes you like, what remakes you hate with a passion. But yeah, just leave a comment, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.